We are here again on Wednesday. I'm Eric Manganero of the Blockchain Center, along here with John May. What's up?
Hi.
Yeah. So, let's talk about what we're going to go over today. Go straight right into it.
We're going to be discussing interoperability between Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Okay.
The two biggest blockchains.
Now, what's the current state? Like, what is the why would we want to do like a Dev Wednesday on this stuff today? I guess
the current state is they are two separate beasts. They're two separate ecosystems. They're like North America and Europe before Columbus. They are two separate entities, and to get two separate decentralized entities. And the only way to get Bitcoin for Ethereum or Ethereum for Bitcoin is to go through a third party, basically, or get ripped off. Because technically I could say, hey, Eric, want some Ethereum? And you could say, well, I'll give you some Bitcoin. Just send me the Ethereum. And
yeah, there doesn't seem like there's a trusted way yet. Yeah.
Yeah. What guarantees him I get any Bitcoin back for my Ethereum?
Really nothing, I guess.
Yeah. And so what most people use is Binance or Coinbase.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I point a lot of people to when they say, hey, I want to get into it. How is that possible?
Yeah, and there's problems with both of those.
Okay, cool.
Mainly security. The amount of money people have lost off all these exchanges because they leak their keys, or they have a security vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
The centralization aspect. You don't control your currency when it's on these exchanges.
Yeah, it's basically just another wallet, and it's their wallet they have for you. Now, let's off the top of your head, I believe we have WBTC, and that's kind of what we wanted to segue into.
Yeah.
Okay, so the website is not too glorious, but this is basically one of the more popular sites that we were talking about, being able to.
What's up, guys?
Hey, who's this?
It's Adam. I'm from the Bitcoin Center in New York.
Is that Adam?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it's Adam. Can you hear everybody?
Yeah, I'm here with Bernard, who's the CTO of many separate organizations. Bernard Lynn, and we wanted to join Dev Wednesdays and say hi because we're up at the Bitcoin Center in New York. We're setting up the studio. But
wait, did you get the green screen running?
Yeah, but it's not.
What? I can't hear Adam.
You can't hear Adam?
No, can you?
I can hear Adam. Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Good today, guys.
How about let me mute him and bring him back. Yo, how about you leave, John, and come back real quick?
I leave and come back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what we're doing right now is what we're talking about chain interoperability.
Okay.
So right now on the screen we have WBTC. And here's John again. How about now, John? John, can you hear Adam?
Adam, say some things.
Yeah. Saying some.
Cool.
All right. We're in. So just to jump right back in, we're discussing. Can you just explain to me more about WBTC?
Yes, Wrap Bitcoin is an ERC20 token.
Okay.
That is backed 1-to-1 by Bitcoin, but is on Ethereum. So it is is an ERC20 token which follows the standard
Mhm.
on Ethereum that you can trade, with 30-second block times, but one wrapped Bitcoin is directly tradable to
A Bitcoin.
yes. And
Does that make sense to you, Adam?
Yeah, can you repeat one more time?
Yeah. So he's talking about WBTC is basically wrapped Bitcoin. So it's
Yeah.
matched 1-to-1 with
Yeah.
Bitcoin. So you can actually have that. So that's kind of like what we're talking about today, is that there should be more options for this to happen. And that's kind of what we're going to get into, those contracts today. So WPTC Cafe is another one. I just hooked my MetaMask up to it, and I can send it Bitcoin to get WPTC. Now, where can I swap this for Ethereum?
let's see, wrapped Bitcoin.
You can do it on Uniswap.
Is it on Uniswap?
It isn't?
It probably is.
Let's check it out. Uniswap.
First one inch exchange.
And if anyone does not know what Uniswap is,
There's Uniswap.
that's pretty important.
Yeah, talk about it real quick.
Uniswap
I have it open right now.
is one of the biggest platforms for decentralized token exchange in
Okay.
Ethereum.
Yeah,
So
we got.
getting back to what we started talking
Mhm.
about,
Gotta get WBTC.
the need to get around centralized authorities owning your tokens.
Oh, you can do WBTC. Select the token. Can we get ETH? Yes. Interesting. Great. Check that out. Adam, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. Yeah. So you're right. Yeah, Uniswap would have that on there for you, as you can see here. So if we were talking about, so what we're going to code today are contracts that are similar or use WBTC. What are we using to verify, and what kind of registry are we going to be using?
Registry. Okay. So let's see, where to begin with this. So we're going to use a third-party solution called RenVM.
Ah, okay, yes. So that's the title of today's show, RenVM, and I have the slide here. Ding.
Yeah, and this is probably, I don't know if it's the first, but it's the most efficient solution, the biggest and most efficient solution to the problem of exchanging Ethereum to Bitcoin in a decentralized way.
Okay, so this is like what runs the mainnet. They have a mainnet coming out, right?
No, their mainnet was just released.
Oh yeah. So it says WBTC Cafe is now live on mainnet, so you can check it here. So it says liquidity on chain, introducing RenVM, our core product providing access to inter-blockchain liquidity for all decentralized applications. Bring Bitcoin, BCH, and Zcash to your Ethereum dApp. Transfer every token between any blockchain. Okay. So what exactly did we start this for? We were like, okay, you told me to bring up like a Vitalik tweet.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we got, what is it right here? We pulled this up. Cool. So it says we should put resources towards a proper trustless, serverless, maximally Uniswap like UX for ETH between ETH and Bitcoin. It's embarrassing that we still can't easily in between the two largest crypto ecosystems trustlessly. And then you have like a barrage of comments.
Yes.
Like,
but about half of them are referencing RenVM.
Yeah, let's see where it is. Blah 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 blah. Oh, RenVM. There we go. So we have Origin blockchain, RenVM, and then we have the Ethereum contract. So then that's what your DeFi app can be associated with. Join the Ren Alliance. Cool, blah blah. Okay. So basically, what we want to do is like let's try to cut through the hype, and let's start coding.
Well, first we need to understand a little bit more about what RenVM even is, because no one's going to understand what I am coding. But
Okay, here let's. Do you see my screen?
what?
Do you see my screen?
Sorry, I'm in like the tab jungle.
Okay, yeah, come back and check.
Well, let me
out the
find.
StreamYard.
Okay.
So let's go through it together. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So it says connecting the unconnected. So we have multi-collateral lending, bringing cross-chain assets to your DEX, and cross-chain over-the-counter trading. What we were talking about how basically we are creating a dark pool, correct?
Yes.
Now that means it has a lot of different connotations. So can you talk about that? I'll bring it up.
I think it was Investopedia
Mm-hmm.
has the best definition of it.
Introduction to dark pools. Okay, so dark pools are private exchanges for trading securities that are not accessible by public investing.
So essentially, a dark pool is, a trading platform or an avenue, maybe a trading. I don't know what's the best phrase. Markets. A avenue of trade that is isolated from the outside world, when you cannot see all the details of the trades.
So yeah, so it's not necessarily like the trade is secret. You just have like the ability for like large whales not to cause a panic in a market, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot of like the use cases for this is that it's not even hidden. It is actually just a part of like the ask price. So people can create like, you can see who it gets to what. So it's not like an anonymous pool, but it's basically you can send back and forth money without like the market changing unfavorably. So you see, we got like supported blockchains. We got Bitcoin, BCH, Zcash, Ethereum, and more. So yeah, why don't we
Adam's gone.
But is Adam gone? There he is.
Okay. Anyway, so let's get into these dark pools more, because what they essentially are is they run a secure environment called RenVM, of course. It's a Turing complete virtual machine. And in it, the primary purpose of this machine is to create elliptical curve digital signature keys.
Mm-hmm. So it says RenVM provides one of the only practical interoperability solutions that can scale. What are dark nodes? Well, like we were talking about, it's powered by a network of machines called dark nodes, earning rewards for contributing computing power and storage space. So it's powered by a decentralized virtual machine, replicated over thousands of machines who work together to power it, contributing their network bandwidth, computational power, and storage capacity. These machines are known as dark nodes, and they can share a volume transacted through the RenVM. Cool. RenVM enables trustless and decentralized exchange of value between blockchains, bringing interoperability to DeFi. This directly enhances DeFi's ability, adding more liquid assets to the Ethereum ecosystem. Regardless of the DeFi app, RenVM can be a cross-chain user experience, allowing seamless and decentralized interoperability for the first time ever. So yeah, I think that's what we're trying to explore today.
Yeah, and so what these dark nodes do is they are grouped into what's called shards, which are subsets that are randomly generated, and then they do what is called multi-party computation to all collaborate and generate one of these random private keys. And these private keys are the keys that hold Bitcoin. So and mint Ethereum. So each of these dark pools, or dark pools made of dark nodes, they create Bitcoin and Ethereum keys that are both secret to the outside world and themselves, since all the key data is split into pieces using a technique called Shamir secret sharing.
Yeah.
But so they hold these keys, and then when you want to convert your Bitcoin to Ethereum, they take that Bitcoin, securely lock it up, and then use their Ethereum key to mint you an Ethereum token known as RenBTC, which is very similar to WBTC.
Oh, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
John, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool example of how that integrated into Uniswap.
Yeah. Okay. So can we go through this real quick?
What
No, it's
parts
just
of
like
it?
basically, well, we're talking about, that's the issue, is that we have is this middle area as the Uniswap exchange, and we need to actually just get to a reserve.
Let's see. It's hard for me to read what you're looking at.
Okay, let's go bigger.
Okay, so yeah, that is creating. Let's see. So so that is their example for Uniswap. How to integrate a whole smart contract into Uniswap.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit beyond what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to show people the basic ABI interface for how you can create a contract that takes Bitcoin and mints RenBTC.
Okay. Cool.
And this is going into Uniswap, and Uniswap is awesome, but that's like, to even understand how Uniswap like works, that's a whole other live stream.
Yeah, let's not jump into everything. Let's just seeing what is.
Yeah, but yeah, even to show the demo of what they have with Uniswap.
Yeah, so let's do you want to take over the screen?
Sure. Let me create a screen share. So okay. As I mentioned previously, I'm going through the basic, application binary interface of how to interact with a dark pool.
Okay.
Or I guess, is it dark node or dark pool? Probably.
I don't like the term.
It's
trying to do.
What don't you like about the term?
Dark? Why?
Because they want to be edgy. It sounds cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not anonymous, so it's not like.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like for bad.
It's like the dark web. No. Everyone thinks the dark web's cool. Like, you hear the name and you're like, don't I want to go?
I know, it's like a PR violation. It's like, all right, who's the guy?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't like it. I don't like the way they use it. It's nothing like dark. It's just it's a place where exchanges are made.
Well, it is a technical term, and people have a critique over dark pools because they have liquidity that is being used. And it's definitely to be talked.
Whatever, it goes on one place, it pops on another. I gotcha. I'm with it.
Continue, guys. I'm gonna plug my.
Okay. Yeah. So Adam, have you heard of RenVM before this?
Somewhere, but I never looked into it.
Because it's pretty low key in the whole crypto space.
Yeah.
Which I find surprising because it seems like one of the best things. And it seems like what everyone wants. Yet I had not heard of them. Well, other than a friend of mine who's deep in the crypto world. Way much deeper than even I am. Told me about this. So anyway, we are going to be So to start some coding, so we got Remix here, and
Now,
let's
for
see.
everyone who doesn't know, what is can you do a couple of us? Can you zoom in? A little
So-
couple.
Control plus.
Control plus.
I am. It does not control. Unfortunately, it does not zoom in on the rest of it. So I can zoom in on like what I'm coding. So
Go to the top
That's
right
fine.
in settings and use that instead of doing it with Control plus. Try to do it from
like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
that worked.
That's cool, because then I can zoom my code out without. Yeah, so this is Remix. This is an online integrated code editor for Solidity.
Great. Yeah, because we've coded on Solidity before, and we use like something like VS Code, and this is another in-browser solution.
Yeah, and I'm using this because of the minimal dependencies.
Yeah.
In that, as we showed you with Beadler, you have to install all these things. And this is a live stream about RenVM, not how to install 30 Node.js libraries. Though
Yeah.
it could easily be about that if we have time to get into Gateway.js.
Sure.
Which
Yeah.
is,
So there's a bunch of people jumping in on stream. Just want to say welcome, and we are doing some Solidity live coding with
with some
John,
next
man.
generation interoperability gateway systems that use, I don't know, secure multi-party computation of elliptical curve digital signature keys.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, read their technical paper. It's even more buzzwords.
Okay, so we're doing an interface here.
Yeah,
Very
but
cool.
so what they have, the most important thing, because I'm kind of going through this in a way to illustrate kind of how they're smart contracts. So all these dark pools have registries on Ethereum blockchain where they all have what are known as gateways.
Okay.
Where each dark pool can use the private keys they control to mint you Ren BTC.
Okay, good.
And so they interact with them. And all these are registered in what is called a gateway registry, right? So and they have a simple interface, and the simple interface we're using is two basic functions here. This is all you need to get started in minting your own, creating your own was Ren BTC from Ethereum.
Cool.
So right now there's actually 3 different gateways. There's Zcash, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash. And to me, the Zcash to Ethereum seems like the most valuable.
Okay.
Because like that's as anonymous as you can get Zcash. You can convert Zcash to Ethereum, Ethereum back to Zcash as many times as you want, if you really want to hide your payment tracing.
For
for pure privacy. If you really value the privacy of your money, the ability to convert Zcash to Ethereum in a way that no one can control is super powerful.
Very cool.
And pretty amazing.
So this is something that's been, I think, like an issue up until like now. I like it how it has the IDE like completions. That was really cool.
Yeah, Remix is super powerful, as I will demonstrate in a little bit, in the amount of functionality it gives you. So anyway, so this gateway by symbol basically allows you to choose which token you're converting to your Ethereum token.
Okay. So our first function is get gateway by symbol. We're calling a string.
And then get token by symbol. And that's basically these are the two helper functions that gets the gateway and the token.
Oh, John, you're breaking up. Watch out.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Let's see if anyone knows what an interface is. Maybe Eric could summarize it, or
Sure. Let's bring up. Let's just bring up the page for it.
so the token itself returns the ERC20 token, and the gateway returns the gateway. And so there's another important interface to do is to understand what the gateways themselves can do.
Mhm.
And they can do two simple things, mint and burn.
Excellent.
And there's a bunch of crazy parameters here that will be explained shortly, but I am typing them out.
Okay. Let me see. Let me pull up your screen again. So function. So mint takes in a 32-byte hash, a unsigned integer, amount, and bytes. It's a 32-byte another hash. So how many arguments is this going to have?
4.
Okay, what's the fourth?
Let's see, bytes 32. Call data. Another important thing to note here is the call data. And what that means is when a function is declared what's known as external in Solidity, which means it can only be called externally rather than internally in the contract itself.
Okay.
You can mark it as external and then use the parameter call data. And this will result in actually a gas optimization.
Okay, cool.
So we got a burn.
So we have a burn function.
And the burn is very similar.
So you just tell it what token it is.
Yeah, so yeah, it will burn your Ethereum tokens and then return your Bitcoin.
Okay.
And more call data.
And this is from the amount.
Let's see, byte. See external. Yeah, I really got to utilize the auto completion. I was not, and I didn't realize how nice it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're like training under gravity. You're just all of a sudden take the weights off. You're like, whoa.
And of course, we need the most basic interface.
Okay.
Which is the ERC20.
Okay.
Which is for the token you're getting. So this is really simple, but just so you can check the balance of your token. And the idea here is with these interfaces is to allow importing of external addresses.
So to reiterate that interfaces are similar to abstract contracts, but they're created using the interface keyword. They have characteristics of an interface that are such that they cannot have any functions with implementations. Functions of an interface can only have a type external, so that links it back up with what you're saying. The interface cannot have a constructor, nor can it have state variables, but it can have enumerations and structs when it's accessed by the interface dot notation. Do you feel?
Okay.
So that links up with what you were saying. Was like, okay, it can only be external.
Yes. But these interfaces basically tell Solidity how to communicate with contracts that are imported at a given address.
What about line 8? Does that have a semicolon?
Line 8. Yeah, there's yes.
Bing.
Yeah, semicolons will get you.
I know, I hate that.
So am I missing anything here?
Hey, for everyone who just joined, what's up? We are doing Dev Wednesday with John and Adam, myself, Eric, and we are doing interoperability. Right now, we're programming. We're zooming way in on.
Interoperability through RenVM specifically.
Yes.
There are competitors, but
right now we're just checking it out because we heard about it, and if it solves a particular use case, then we're going to cover it.
Yeah,
so
it is
right now
probably the biggest and first to solve the interoperability use case.
So interoperability,
and they have a mainnet.
Yeah. So right now we just got done coding interfaces. What's next?
An actual contract.
Okay.
But first, I should explain some of these parameters, like what's a p hash.
Yeah, sure.
So minting allows you the p hash itself allows you to create a message with the mint.
Yep.
To basically identify what's happening for logging purposes, and the hash of this message is the p hash. The amount is the amount being minted. The n hash is actually a nonce used
once.
A nonce, which is basically an identifier for the particular minting operation used by the gateway. And the signature is an actual.
For those watching that don't know what a nonce is, it's a number only used once.
Yes.
Nonce. It's not nonsense.
It's not right.
Nonsense. Ooh. Yeah. So I loved that word when I learned it. I was like, it stuck in the back of my head for like a whole week. I was like, nonce.
Yeah, nonce.
So we got
represented as a hash here. And now the important is the signature, which is the signature of the dark node that's authorizing
I want to
the minting.
I want to use this for like all types of workloads and stuff. Like I want to mess around. Like there's all kinds of things we can do with this.
Yeah, that's the point. I think that's why we're going over. We're like, wow.
Yeah, we're doing like the very basics here, but because it's a Turing complete, it allows for. I think there's a lot more complex use cases people imagining with this.
Okay.
So our contract rent example now is going to have an iGateway registry contract, which is kind of like the guardian of
the actual
exchange.
Cool.
And
looks like Gab's back.
Yes,
so that's the big difference between the interface and the contract, is that it acts like a contract, but this one has a constructor. So we're actually going to instantiate it with the iGateway registry, and you're naming it registry.
Yeah, the thing to note though is the actual registry. This is actually an address. Even that's somewhat confusing. Even though you call an iGateway registry,
Yes.
this can be basically.
Well, it is an address because it's like a contract. It just has only
Yeah, it
external.
just but this is basically of type address in Ethereum when you actually go to invoke this.
Yeah, which does make sense.
So yeah, this sets the Guardian gateway dark node. And so I guess we need some events.
Yeah.
Since what this is going to do is a basic deposit and withdrawal contract. The very basics of how you can get, Bitcoin into your Ethereum world. So you have deposit.
Oh, wow. We got a whole bunch of people on stream. We got Madeline, Booster, Moontime, Malin, Jose, Venerio. What's up? Yeah, people are actually joining in. If you're just joining in right now.
For those that don't know, we're in COVID New York.
Yeah, we're covering the new hot thing.
And Miami. I'm in the
blockchain space
right now. And
maybe you didn't know about.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Adam, can you guys hear each other?
I can hear John, but I didn't realize he couldn't hear me until right now.
Yeah, John can't hear you.
That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, so you added some events.
So I have some events. So this is basic functionality of this basic Ren example. It is going to be deposit and withdrawal. And so since we have events, we need functions to create those events.
Okay.
But you can see that
will return something that will return an event.
Something that will mint you Ren BTC.
Okay, great.
But then trigger the deposit event for tracking purposes. That's the main purpose of an event in Ethereum, is so that you can build an app, and then the app can track what happens in the in the Ethereum world.
Yes, the Ethereum world. Yeah, yes. So what we got? So we have call data, and you're bringing a message that is just going to be straight bytes.
Yeah, and then you have.
Okay.
So that call data is the message that is logged here, that is hashed and turned into your p hash.
Okay. Very cool.
Right, and so we have a bytes 32 n hash as your nonce. Wait, auto. Okay, there it is.
Just call it. Why don't you just call it nonce?
I'm just because of the iGateway interface.
Okay, cool. It's all good. Yeah,
it would make. I think the main naming space issue is it's bytes 32.
Okay, cool.
And so this deposit function I cannot actually call myself. Is the interesting thing about it. No, I cannot call it myself because it requires a correct sig and n hash.
Yeah, so you couldn't even try.
And I cannot create those things. Only a RenVM dark node can. But they are,
because you want to have privacy with how you create contracts, how you do external trades.
So first thing we're going to do is create the p hash
Okay.
from your message. So we're going to use the good old trusty Keck 256.
Very nice. So you're already using the ABI.encode method.
Yeah, both these functions, if
They
anyone's
take in
used
that-
Solidity, you might have seen them, but they are native. I'm not importing them from anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're just using straight Solidity right now.
Yeah, and ABI encode is necessary in Solidity 5 and greater to hash anything. You have to encode it, which this is actually a really brilliant addition. Or not necessarily brilliant, it's kind of like does
Easy.
the basic things you would expect for strings, and
There has always been issues plaguing with its like standard library. So
Yeah.
it's good that it does something for us. Happiness.
yeah, Solidity 4 was not too much fun. So this, now we are going to actually mint it here. So we're taking the registry, and then they're using the get gateway. So we take the registry, then we get a gateway. And so we're going to try Bitcoin Cash here.
Okay.
And then we're going to mint. And
You're gonna actually use so now you're actually calling it.
yeah, and so we're using this interface we defined above to mint. So with amount and hash.
Very nice. The signature.
Mhm.
Very cool.
But what has to happen though is this nhash and sig has to be provided by a dark node. So in practice, what will be happening is we will be sending BTC to a dark node. The dark node or a BCH, Bitcoin Cash, the lesser known Bitcoin, which is actually pretty cool for anyone who ignores it. But when the dark node gets the Bitcoin Cash, they'll get it with our message, and then that will trigger a call of this deposit function.
Yeah, and that's what you want at the end of it, is to have the RenBTC.
But so the whole registry of that is controlled by Ren's own JavaScript libraries, which will be the next step. So if you're just looking at this wondering, how
where does it happen?
Where all these things, parameters coming from, how does all this happen? Well, there's a whole infrastructure else that triggers this.
Okay, yeah, let's just can we cut to the JavaScript? Or do we
we're almost done here.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna emit an
event.
Deposit, and namespace is kind of amount and message. So we have one more function to write, and we're almost done.
Okay, cool.
No
rush. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
what's next?
Yeah, I understand. Discussing the JavaScript is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. So I'm like, oh well, we're gonna do it. Cool. So we're doing a withdrawal function now. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same type of thing, except it's a bit simpler because the withdrawal only needs an address to withdraw and an amount.
I don't know what that emoji is. Washing hands.
What?
Someone said did a washing hands emoji. I'm gonna try to Google it.
Yeah, there's too many, and it's getting kind of crazy. So my personal theory is we're going to go back to like a pictographic writing system, like
Okay. Oh,
ancient Egypt.
okay.
Oh
Makes sense.
my God.
It's only a matter of time. It's just going to take maybe 50 years, but whatever.
Yeah, everyone will have. Everybody
Dude,
will know.
emojis.
Yeah, everyone will know what they mean, and they'll be too lazy to actually write anything. So you'll have whole conversations of just GIFs and
Eric, you can't hear me. Say emoji.
images.
Emoji.
Yes, that's the technical name or term,
Sure.
or maybe not the technical term. What would be a technical term for emoji?
I think that is it. Well, people know what you're talking about when you say emoji, right?
Yeah,
Like it's like almost Unicode. Like yes. Wash your hands. And I can't find any emojis. Maybe someone's washing their hands of us. Like I don't like the solidity stuff.
yeah. Solidity is
It's actually pretty. It's pretty good.
it's an experience. I mean, there's
Okay,
worse languages.
So let's look at what we got here. You're saying you're actually using withdrawal, emit withdrawal 2, burned amount, and the message.
Yeah,
Burn amount. Okay.
yeah. So it's pretty simple. We're using the gateway burn function here.
Cool.
And we are saying we want to burn.
Your BCH.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe do a quick. So what this is the, I guess like the full version of like our features today. Trying to just doing a deposit, withdraw, any other functions.
A what?
Is there any more other functions today that we're going to be writing?
One tiny one, which is so you can see your balance,
Ooh.
and which is our first test that this actually works. So that's important.
Yeah. Do you have any BCH?
BCH testnet, which apparently no one uses.
Bucks.
Do you think you can I want to try to snag us some BTH.
I have like if you send me a wallet, I have like a couple of bucks.
No, not actual BTH. We need the testnet tokens.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
Get a
spend
wallet, I'll get it for you.
both real Ether and real BCH.
I think we're generating that right now.
Just quite yet.
BCH testnet
Pop
tokens.
in the address in Discord. I'm gonna send it.
Correct. So we're going.
I don't think we have an address just yet, but we will. We're gonna generate it.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So this basically uses the registry gateway.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Dot balance of address. And so if you see like let's see, gateway by symbol.
Mhm.
So you see, let's see. Did I do this right? Let me think about this for a second. No, I did not get token by symbol. I was like, that doesn't make sense because we want to get token by symbol by symbol. So we get so this actually returns an ERC20 token, which then you can call balance of.
Mm-hmm. Tricky.
Yeah, and that gets the balance of the contract address.
Okay. Let's play a game called Will It Compile?
That's a fun game.
The
first
game.
game.
That's what I want to make a graphic that it just comes into like, will it compile? Are we actually like? So you're actually using now Remix to compile.
Yeah. So let's look at the bewildering array of things on Remix first.
the bewildering. It's a bewildering experience.
Yeah. It's actually
That'd be a cool name. Of an
so
app.
there's a
Bewilder.
compiler.
Mhm.
You can generate unit tests for your contracts.
Very cool. I think that's something we're gonna try to
There's
dive into more, like further streams.
you can even access your file system, so you can load all your contracts just on your computer.
Okay.
There's an Oracle plugin. There's a one-click DApp tool. I'm actually really curious what that does. But I think we should go to the compiling first. So, okay, so we're gonna have to change the compiler. So Solidity, auto compile. Let's see. So what do we got to do? 6.
No contract compiled.
I guess we can go down a little bit to. I guess I did 5. No, it's a good question of what.
Now, what exactly are you thinking about when you're hitting compile here? So this could we rewrote this contract for 5. I thought
What?
when we were going over it earlier. I think we were talking about 5.
Unexpected external view. Okay, there it is. Returns. Interface.
Mm-hmm.
Expected pragma solidity. There's the pragma.
Try it again. Let's do it.
Solidity.
Okay, I think there's another return one on line 15 as well. That just says return.
Yeah,
returns on line 15.
That's important.
Okay.
Interface IOC 20.
Mm-hmm.
External view returns. Interesting. This is fun.
Import directive.
I wonder if I were to move this down here. Pragma, solidity.
Oh, so it can. It's referencing something that's not there.
I don't think so. I think it's. No, it's not finding the pragma solidity, this thing.
Interesting.
41. Expected.
Oop.
And it also might be that remixes.
Mm-hmm. So this is the part. This is the part of the show where we are debugging live, because this is what coding is.
Yes.
Welcome.
So okay, returns, not return.
Okay.
Almost.
All right. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. You're like, okay, we're gonna just straight type. We're still humans. Do we have Do we have one that's ready to go to paste in?
I mean, yes, we could, but
Let's try it out. Wait, I was saying not unique. What is it not returning?
What?
It says data location can only be specified for array, struct, or mapping types, but call data was given. It's a string call data.
Okay, so
because you're trying to pass that. Correct. Okay, what was that? Oh, you just want to return bytes.
Yeah, that's an issue. So it's really easy. It's really easy, especially with this whole.
Okay, so you're passing something. Let's see. You're passing p hash. What is the error it's giving you? It's hard for me to see.
P hash or oh, okay, N hash. There it is. It's 32. Which one?
Okay. In your mind, what are you going through right now? You're experiencing that it's not.
It's just which one is bytes to. Which one needs to be bytes? Which one? It's really easy. Actually, because of this autocomplete, that it will just turn bytes to
byte.
yeah, but bytes to bytes 32, and then I can just try and it's bytes 32 and hash.
Oh, we no longer have Pragma on top.
No, you actually don't necessarily. I think you don't need it in Remix. I don't code in Remix that often.
True.
I think.
What is the actual? What is this?
That's call data. Oh, there it is.
Bada bing! What we got here?
What is this? Oh, warning.
Unused variable.
And actually, let's log that here, so it's not unused. Oh, this is nice. It does not specify. Consider. Interesting. So I wonder if I typed it wrong or what. But so you don't need it though. Okay. So we compiled it.
Great. So we can go from the top, and then I think we're good on part 1 of this series.
Yeah, you want to get JavaScript next week?
Compiler version must be.
Say it one more time.
I'm
JavaScript.
Confused.
Yeah, I think that would be really good.
This is Solheim, which is pretty cool.
Adam was talking about is that part 2 can be the JavaScript aspect, so we can get down to that full stack.
Yeah, because RenVM is not simple, and interacting with it is not simple. It's actually like what actually happens is abstracted under a few different layers.
Sure. Yeah, we can go through them all.
Yeah.
But this actually was really good, because what I think a lot of people need is to, when you're going through the thoughts of coding, and I think today was really good for that.
Okay, so how do you want to wrap this up?
I think this is great. I think that we can just say, hey, this is part 1.
Listen,
part 2 would be a great way for us. No, so part 2 is going to be us putting a front end to this, so we can organize our thoughts and how
so we can convert Bitcoin Cash to some Ethereum tokens.
Yeah.
I can roll
maybe explore a Uniswap integration, because
that is like a whole day in itself, to be honest.
Let me roll it out.
Yeah, quick. Uniswap is a pretty interesting smart contract system.
Hey, can you leave and come back so you can hear Adam?
I'll try.
That'd be really cool, because he's going to talk, and then we're going to bring it out. Let's see. Okay, he's left, and he's coming back in. See. Oh, John's coming.
All right, so takeaways.
John's device is not connected.
That's okay. He's gonna hop in. I guess like the takeaways are, with COVID going on and everything, we're opening the centers back up responsibly as much as possible. I know Eric was here in New York City last week, which was really exciting. So we're going to be teaching, Bitcoin 101s again and trying to phase that in as soon as humanly possible. we're all really excited about. We're going to be doing some development courses in person, maybe some hackathons. We got a couple of different partners that we're going to be shouting out on the upcoming streams. We have all kinds of sponsors. Everybody else is going to be working with us. We're just having some planning sessions. So I guess on the way to come, more things to look forward to are like some DeFi panels. We're going to talk about Oracle a little bit more. We're going to be doing all different types of things that, gets into the upper layers of Bitcoin and blockchain. These smart contracts that are on layer 2 and, that are, the atomic swaps, layer 2, layer 3 blockchain technologies. How it's going to become part of our everyday use cases. So,
So next week, let's just be clear. We're going to try to, analyze the JavaScript aspect of this to bring this to life. So, here comes John.
Get back. Yes.
And he's
made it.
back.
yeah, you got me. Can you hear me?
John, can you hear Adam?
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay,
Great.
so just roll us out, Eric.
Yeah. So next week we're going to explore the visual aspect of how to interface with RenBTC, and hopefully, really talk about what Uniswap is, and maybe we'll get some Bitcoin Cash and exchange it with Ethereum, and we'll do it live.
Nice. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us tonight, and we'll see you
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. It's
Hey,
been exciting.
this was actually a really good one.